Today, we're going to dig into this really cool system called Neura. Now, it's all built on one big idea. How do you take all that hard-won, real-world experience, the stuff you learn in the trenches, and actually turn it into a scalable AI? We're going to explore how it bridges that gap between human grit and pure machine logic. This sentence right here, this is the key to the whole thing. It's this idea that the best, most powerful algorithms, they're not dreamed up in some sterile lab. Nope. They're forged in the messy, high-pressure chaos of reality. It's all about bottling up that instinct. So let's kick things off with this core principle, grit before the algorithm. The foundational belief here is that the most resilient, the most effective systems, they come from lived experience. They're born out of pressure and survival, not some clean, theoretical model. And this just nails it, doesn't it? The logic behind Neuro isn't actually new. It's rooted in decades of just doing the work. We're talking everything from flipping stuff at a yard sale to closing high-stakes business deals. The technology you see has only just now caught up to the human process. This slide just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got the lab. That's the traditional, controlled way people build AI. But the Neuro philosophy, it's all about what's on the right, the dirt. It's about training systems in that real-world chaos where nothing is predictable. The idea is that an AI born from that kind of pressure is just going to be tougher, smarter, and more adaptive. So how do you actually get from that grit to actual code? Well, this 6-step process here breaks it all down. It all starts with a gut instinct, right? A decision made under pressure. That leads to an action out in the real world. The result of that action, good or bad, becomes a data point. You collect enough of those data points, you start to see a pattern. And that pattern, that's the logic you can finally turn into code and automate. It's a straight line from human experience right into machine execution. Okay, so we've kind of covered the why. Now let's get into the how. How in the world do you actually bottle up all this chaos and turn it into a working system? Well, it all comes down to some pretty clever building blocks. So, the most fundamental piece of this whole system is something called the knowledge qubit. The easiest way to think about it is like a single, tiny packet of wisdom. It's a self-contained little block that has a proven prompt, a trigger for when to use it, and the exact kind of response you want. It's basically one transferable piece of hard-won experience you can give to an AI. And this is where it gets really powerful. See, you don't just use one of these qubits, you stack them. It's like building with Legos. By combining all these little modular units of wisdom, you can build specialized AI avatars. And we're not talking about your generic run-of-the-mill chatbot here. These are purpose-built personas with very specific skills and personalities, all drawn from that real-world logic. So how do you use these avatars? Well, the system uses what it calls a funnel stack. It's like a guided journey. At each step, a different persona, a different avatar, engages with the user. It might kick off with a first contact avatar to kind of break the ice and build some rapport. Then you might get handed off to a clarity avatar to really dig into the problem. It just keeps guiding the conversation down the funnel, all with a specific purpose. And check this out. This table shows you just how precise this whole process is. Each one of those avatars in the funnel isn't just winging it. It's using a very specific type of prompt, maybe an icebreaker, or a diagnostic question, or a reframe to get a very specific result. Whether it's building a connection or uncovering a core belief, it's all part of a highly structured strategy. All right, so you might be thinking, this all sounds pretty theoretical, but this is where the rubber meets the road. This next part, from resale to quantum, is all about showing the incredible range of this core idea. You're about to see just how scalable this approach is across some wildly different fields. Let's start with a really tangible, easy-to-grasp example, flip tech. This is basically about taking the gut instinct of a really experienced reseller, that ability to just spot value, and turning it into code. The end result is an AI agent that can look at a picture of an item, figure out what it's worth, and then instantly write the perfect online sales listing for it. Now let's move into a much more complex area, the creator-verse. Here, the system is used to basically codify an influencer's unique voice, their creative process, you could even call it their soul. It creates a whole suite of agents that can help build stories, dream up collaborations, and even spot trends, all in that creator's unique style. And for a really sophisticated big business use case, just look at real estate. Neuro has been used to build AI voice agents that can handle the entire front end of a call center. We're talking qualifying leads, handling tricky objections, and booking appointments, all operating 24/7.
And get this, it's not just some empty claim. There's hard data to back it up. For their real estate clients, this system delivers a guaranteed 2 to 3.5 times increase in appointment bookings. That right there is proof that training an AI on real-world sales conversations is way more effective than just feeding it generic scripts. Now, to really see the full mind-bending potential here, we have to look at its most visionary application, post-quantum security. The core idea here is to go way beyond just encrypting data. It's about protecting the meaning behind the data. It uses a kind of adaptive cryptography that learns and evolves to new threats, almost like a biological immune system. This quote, man, it just says it all, doesn't it? These advanced systems are designed with a war, not work mentality. They have to be resilient. They have to perform under extreme pressure because they were born from a philosophy of pure survival. Okay, that brings us to our final section, the AI income engine. And for anyone out there with an entrepreneurial bone in their body, this is the big payoff. This is all about taking this whole concept of codified experience and turning it into actual products you can sell. I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you take these really complex, kind of abstract systems that are built from years and years of experience and package them into something tangible that people can actually buy and use? Well, the answer is a tool they call the Agent Forge. You can think of it like a factory. It's a user interface that takes all that complex logic, the knowledge qubits, the avatar stacks, the whole shebang, and bundles them all up into simple, deployable products. It's what turns the philosophy into a sellable asset. And boom, here are the first 3 real products to come out of the Forge. You've got Flip AI for the resellers, Post Forge for content creators, and Lead Hound for local business outreach. This right here is where that abstract idea of an AI income engine suddenly becomes super real, accessible, and ready to go. And what's really brilliant is just how simple the final product is. You're not getting some complicated piece of software you have to install. You get a zip file. It's literally a business in a box. Inside, you've got the core logic, the exact prompts that make it tick, and super easy instructions so anyone can download it and get it running almost instantly. And we're gonna end on this final, really empowering message. This is a note to every expert, every entrepreneur, every seasoned pro out there. All your experience, all your grit, it's not outdated. It's an unbelievably powerful engine. The only challenge, and the real opportunity, is to build the road to let that engine run. So the question this whole system leaves us with is, what kind of engine are you sitting on?